The year is 2010. The then CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, receives an email from the top executive of the company showing an advertisement of a woman using Kindle app on her iPhone. After this, she switches over to the Android and is able to use the app just as easily. After this, the executive says to Jobs over the email that this is not a good picture. To this, Jobs basically implies that they are going to force the users and the developers to stay logged into the platform of Apple or iPhone or its other facilities by using several of the benefits or features that it brings to the table using its payment system. Now, this has become the basis of the antitrust lawsuit that US's Department of Justice and 16 of its states has filed against Apple for its anti-competitive practices and its exclusionary practice against all other smartphone companies. To understand it in a more detailed manner, we have to understand that Apple charges almost $1,600 for an iPhone. After that, all the app developers who put their services or goods over the app store can be charged a service fees of up to 30%. After this, if a user of their services or user of or any of their apps makes any in-app purchases, again a service fees of up to 30% can be charged. But this is not all. If you are an iPhone user and you go out to a grocery shop or to buy a coffee and you use Apple's payment system to make those purchases, service fees can again be charged on these transactions. In fact, Apple gets a cut of the revenue generated from the Google searches made by the iPhone users. Now, this is not where it ends. Due to these practices, the Department of Justice and the states which are running this antitrust suit have asked the courts to declare the practices of Apple as unlawful and have said that it is a self-interested monopolist and it should be restricted from determining the functions of app developers and distributors, and it should be restricted from entering into contracts or agreements with the developers, users, or any other stakeholders which it can use to entrench its monopoly. Now, this case is going to be heavily watched and Apple is going to defend itself in a fierce manner. However, if the Department of Justice of United States of America is successful in its pursuit, we might get all the facilities of an iPhone at a much cheaper rate. Let's see how this unfolds.